So their character comp. A Tibber stun could really hurt us, because she could hit a bunch of us, but Annie wasn't there, so it was really good that we were sticking together like that. Here I'm just kind of harassing, seeing if I can catch the Ez as he's running up. A lot of the times I'll throw my Q out in front of them and they'll just kind of walk into it because they didn't see it in time. Kind of a fail blitz pull there, but we saw somebody coming up right here, so we decided to back around and avoid getting killed.
Your team has destroyed a turret.
And our minions pushed down the turret up here. So that was very, very convenient for us. Helped us get back into this. We catch Mundo out of position. I throw down my pool right there, and we got a nice couple ganks in there. Threw my Malefic Visions on him, hit him with my Q. My Q does a lot of damage now, as you can see. That was a huge chunk of damage, especially to the squishier characters like Ezreal and Annie. It also silences, which means they can't fight back once I hit them with it. So Larothan dives in there. And we decide, since we've got a chance, we're going to push. Unfortunately, the Ignite there took him down. Hit him with my Malefic Visions. Weakens him a little bit. Not really that much I can do. Unfortunately, I'm running low on mana now. That's something that typically doesn't happen to me very often, but after a long team fight, it definitely becomes a factor. You can see the null pool there, finishing him off, which was nice because it brought me up to 19 stacks. The beautiful thing is, once you hit 20 stacks with Magi's, your cooldowns also reduce, so my ultimate is going to come back way more often. And it's going to give us a huge advantage, because if I can start suppressing people in the middle of fights, that's just going to be huge. I'm going to be picking people off left, right. Plus I'm getting the huge bonus. I'm getting 152 ability power. And then because of the Rabadons, 30% of that is also becoming more ability power. So it's just, all of my items are kind of stacking to make me this massive ability power fiend. So I really like those items. I've also started, I skipped the Void Staff because I realized I needed to get a little bit of defense. The Banshee's Veil I find is really good. It'll help me block a stun, so if Annie tries to use her stun on me, it's absolutely crucial. I don't want to get caught off guard, because if I start losing my stacks, then I'm in a bad position, you know. There goes a chunk of my AP. So again, that's why some people aren't fans of it, but I typically find even if I do die, I can usually bring it back. As long as I start playing smart, I can get my my stacks back relatively quickly. So here we see a wave pushing top, so we decide to kind of make our way up there. We also want to check Baron on the way, because we were going to steal their blue, but that didn't really pan out. I guess we didn't go to top, we just kind of let Larothan go up there, which is fine because, you know, he's our AD carry, so he's going to get fairly strong himself. But as you can see, we're all moving around together. And I believe we knew that their blue was going to spawn. I think that's why we're hanging out here. And then we realize, oh, they're just kind of pushing up mid. We need to move out and stop them. No, sorry, it wasn't that blue was spawning. We thought they were going to go for Baron. So we were just kind of bait them there and hide in their bushes somewhere they wouldn't think. But that kind of backfired and they all just kind of went somewhere else. But fortunately we caught them right here, and Larothan was conveniently located. So here you can see I'm waiting for my cooldown, so I'm just staying back out of battle. There wasn't really much I could do. And fortunately, since I was far enough back, I was able to make it away from the battle. So here I come down and decide to start backing up. Singed probably could have made it down to me in time to try and stop me from getting away, but to be honest, with the amount of stacks I have, I'd probably just kill him. So I come back. Crucial thing when you are in this kind of a position, kill the minions, because they can't really push without the minions here, or the towers are just going to focus them down. If they attack you, the towers will focus them, so you really want to just work on the minions, and you never want to push. If you've lost this tower and they're attacking the inhibitor, let the inhibitor go, or if the tower's low health, let it go, back up to these towers, because you're not going to get anything out of it. Here Silver's a little out of position, but I kind of spam some spells on Singed, decide, you know, he doesn't deserve to live anymore. There's Copy Kitty diving in. Mundo kind of pops over. That was a nice snare. Kept him right on my pool. I managed to hit him with my ult, so we all focused that Mundo down. And Lorothan kind of ran off, killing everybody else. So that was a really good team fight. Had they turned around, fighting Mundo probably wasn't our best move. We should have been fighting somebody else, but because he was so low and he's so hard to kill, and we just had the option where everybody else was running away, it was nice to pick him off. Lorothan was gonna go back and defend our base, but we decided we needed him for Baron. We decided to Baron at this point because we had killed the majority of them, if not all of them. And we had the time, so may as well get it right. Build up that money supply for all the teammates who, unlike me, aren't already almost done. My build at this point was practically complete. All I need to do is convert this into an Archangel Staff, which isn't too expensive. And I was going to convert this into my Void Staff so I can get that extra magic penetration. That way if they have any kind of magic resist, I'm just set and don't need to really worry about it. I'm still doing the crazy amounts of damage that these 20 stacks are allowing me. And my cooldown's my cooldown is down to 60 seconds on this, so every minute I can suppress somebody. We have to play it kind of smart. Even though we have Baron, we're tempted to push out, but we really need to just back it up and play safe, because if we let these minions push into our base, they're just going to take our tower down. And there's really nothing we can do to fight them if we're pushed out to the middle and fighting another team, right? If they take down these towers, it opens us to a world of bad scenarios. So Lorothan up here just trying to gain some money. Blitz running up trying to clean up, but there's really nothing left for him. Because that Nocturne just attacking so fast. Here I decide, even though this tower has a lot of health, they're going to try stunning me, they're going to try slowing me, they're going to do everything in their power to take me down, and look at how fast that turret went down. So if I had stayed, there would have been absolutely nothing I could have done. My team's kind of coming in here to back it up. There's Singed chasing after Morgana. He uses his spell shield really nicely, that was really nice. Alright, so we kind of let them, we chase them away. We don't want to get over cocky and run out. Here I remember Blitz saying, hold on, I'm gonna pull somebody. This was actually pretty funny. And just happened it. Look at that crazy clairvoyance he has or something. I don't know how he knew that, but he knew they were kind of all just hanging out. So he picked off that Annie, and it was just absolutely huge for us. Gave us that nice little advantage we needed. Team fight going on down here. So I quickly came down to provide the damage. Dropping my Malefic Visions on Nunu there. Lorothan chasing down the Ez. It's great because he's a really good chaser. Unfortunately, he just missed with his Q. He would have been able to catch that Ez no problem otherwise. Here I am chasing Singed because, you know, first rule doesn't apply to me. I'm just that awesome. Drop my null zone. Didn't get him, unfortunately, but Singed is really badly hurt and can't really help. So there's their Ez. There's their Singed. They're both trying. See, this is what I mean, where they need to just let us go. They need to back up to these turrets and just let us take these inhibitors. Which, fortunately, they were smart enough to do. They didn't run up and try and sacrifice themselves for the turret, because we would have just destroyed them and then turned back on the turret. There's really nothing to be gained from giving them a kill as well. So here we go, getting blue again. With the blue buff and my 20 stacks, I'm down to 48 seconds. So my cooldown is just absolutely huge now. Cooldown's not really something I go for a lot with this character, but it happened to work out that I got blue buff, and I typically avoid getting blue buff when I'm playing as Malzahar. Just because I know that most of the other characters can use it more. There I am holding him in place so he can't run. Singe is a particularly good runner. That was a perfect spell shield from Morgana. Just saved my life because my Banshee's Veil had popped and they definitely would have tried to gank me, but Morgana's spell shield stopped the slow and gave me just enough time to run away, keeping my stacks intact. So that was absolutely huge. As I was saying, I typically don't go for blue buff. I'll leave it for other players. Like, I'd give it to Morgana or somebody, because I don't need the mana. Like I said, my Malefic Visions gives me mana back for every minion it kills, so if I cast it at the start, I have enough mana for all of my other moves. The blue buff is nice though. It lets me cast my Malefic Visions directly on another player. There we go, I'm holding Nunu in place. I don't want him running away or activating his ult. So I kind of used the fact that my friends were all tanking for me and just held him in place. There we go. Comes back and my Q is sitting on top of him, so really wasn't a good situation for that Annie. Yeah, so the blue, because I have such high mana regen, it's really not necessary for me to have it. But it's great for the cooldown. For the ult specifically is just really helpful, and it is useful on Mouse. So that's why I ended up taking it this round. Is my cooldown just got so much faster, and with it coming up every second, it's letting us dominate these team fights. I can hold down some of their bigger threats. Nunu is a particularly bad threat because if we all get in close and he pops his ult, it's game over for us. We'll all just get slowed, we get hurt really badly. Not a good fight for us. I remember Copy Kitty here yelling at me. He's like, no, just run, run, run. And I'm like, no, I want to kill. So I killed Singe. And then, you know, of course I played it up the hero. I'm like, no, I had to save you, man, I had to save you. Secretly, I'm just greedy. And I take some risks that maybe I shouldn't, but, you know. So there I cast Malefic Visions. It's jumping around from minion to minion. And eventually pops its way over to Nunu. And that's one of those things where, like, a lot of the times when you cast it on minions, they won't even notice you've cast it. So we decided to back up because we didn't have Blitz with us, and we wanna be careful. We don't want to overextend. We got Dragon, try to solidify our lead a little bit. Because as you can see, our score has gone back up, right? I'm at 19 assists, 11 kills, 4 deaths. And overall, we've actually taken back 2 of the kills. So now we're going to go for Baron. We have it pushed. The reason we can do this right now is we've got them pushed back into their base. We've got sight. We know that at least 3 of them are in their base. Annie's over here. So we've got the time for Baron. They could come up and try and fight us, but they'd be leaving their inhibitors, or sorry, not their inhibitor, their main base exposed to our super minions, so they really needed to kill that before moving out. So it gave us enough time to go get this buff. And that's huge. There we find Blitz off on his own again. Or, sorry, Blitz finds Singed. Rothan dives on Annie. Can he get her?